out in the race. I mean, them guys, them big guys, if I went in there and was going to work out in the gym with them big guys and they got more weights on the thing, than I'm wore out just by putting all their weights up on the thing, right? So if I was just going to get down there and try to lift what they lift, couldn't do it. And if I couldn't do it and I compared myself to them and where they're at, I would go home disappointed and frustrated. Instead of understanding the process, okay, today I'm going to start with this. And then tomorrow I'm going to start with this. And then the next day I'm going to start with this. And then years down the road, we compare each other too much. We compare. That's an enemy.
Yes, it is.
It's an enemy. Well, we just said, I've started, in fact, for me, I started with a cough. I come in Revelation and said, I know it's the will of God for me to be healed. I know that the curse is broken over my life. If all of my sins been placed on Jesus and all of His rightness has been put on me, then why am I paying the punishment and the penalty for that which sin brought? Oh, I better say that again. If all of our sin was placed on the body of someone else, why are we paying the punishment for it? Why are we paying the price for it? Because we've not known. And we've just accepted it and said, well, it's part of life. You got to die something, brother, right? I mean, everybody, you get the flu every year, one time around, right? We've believed all that stuff, and because we've believed all that stuff, we've lived in that stuff. So I decided I'm just going to change what I believe. I understand now. He showed it to me. He taught me this. That it's not the will of God for us to be sick. It's not the will of God for us to be weak. It's not the will of God for us to be defeated. It's the will of God for Him to provide life for us as if sin never existed. Alright? So how's this going to happen? By faith. Because it's not been happening automatic. It's not happening automatic. You get, everybody here, want to get born again tonight? Sure. Get born again, automatic. You never get sick again in your life. It ain't going to happen that way. Fact is, if you're in the wrong places and you're hearing all this law and condemnation, you'll be sicker. That's a whole nother... Condemnation will kill you. In fact, I'll be so bold to say I think that just a religious church group, the average religious church group is sicker than the world. Because you've got more sin consciousness and more guilt and condemnation. That's for another day. I'm talking about faith. Settle the fact that it's His will for me to be healed and healthy. So now the enemy comes along with one of these deals like we read in James, and this adversity or this trouble comes my way, say some little, for me, when I first started putting this into practice, if you will, it come to me with a cough. Every winter, right? Everybody gets this little cough or whatever. It could be anything. This is just me personally. And I'm not saying this is exactly how I would do it now, where I am now. But at the time, this is what it was. Here comes this cough. Cough in the winter, right? Cough, cough, cough. I said, I'm done putting up with this. I know this is crazy as far as the world and most of you all is concerned, but I don't care. I'm not living life with the world. I'm not born of the world. I'm born of God. And the curse is broken. And I actually do believe He did what He said He did, and He is who He says He is, and because of that I am who He says I am. So I'm not putting up with this anymore. I'm not bowing down to it. Yes, the evidence says it's here. Yes, the facts say that it's this way. But I'm no longer living my life by what I see. I'm living my life by faith. So I resisted the thing. And I said, you ain't getting on me. Yeah, evidence said it was. I mean, everybody around me. You can ask my dad, and we were working all the time, cough, 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 and say, I ain't got a cough. I ain't having no cough. I'm healthy. I'm healed and whole. Sorry. Now, see, they're all looking at the evidence, and they're thinking I'm like cuckoo. I think this thing lasts, what, usually a couple weeks or something. You cough up all night, right? You get pretty decent during the day, and you lay down at night, and that thing gets in you. You can't stop coughing. I mean, I am healed. Can barely say it, right? I'm saying this is a fight. This is a struggle. And we got to understand this, or we're laying there trying to lift that weight and say, I'm such a failure. You got to start small, and this is where I started. So that thing would have normally lasted 2 weeks. I stayed hooked. I'm hard-headed. I'm hard-headed cowboy. I mean, we're gonna wrestle. You're gonna have to kill me to get me to quit, right? I'm saying one of the fruits of the Spirit is long-suffering. I don't know this, or I haven't looked it up, but I say cowboy translation with that would be hard-headed. You're gonna have to be hard-headed in this thing. Right? So that thing normally would have lasted a couple weeks, probably. So I got it whooped down to like 5 days. I'm good, right? Now, most people have said, well, probably just went away in 5 days anyway. Oh, you're crazy what you're thinking about this, right? So then, for, another year or whatever, next time comes along, tries to get on me again, I done whooped you once. You 2-week booger. I done whooped you down to 5 days. Now you think you're getting on me again? I ain't having it again. I'm still resisting this. I'm still not bowing down to this. I'm still not taking this on as my own. I'm still not accepting this as normal for me, because I'm no longer normal. That time, 2 days. Next time comes along, 2 hours. Next time, don't eat like... Was that a little tickle there? Yeah, now let me tell you something. Right? No, never again. Ain't happening no more. See, I didn't give up on the first thing whenever I first said it one time and it didn't act like it worked. I didn't give up and quit and say, well, it's not working. Right? It's not working. No, it's working. It's things by faith. I'm not believing it because I have proof. I'm not believing it because I have evidence. I'm believing it because He has showed it to me, and that I know it's His heart for me, and I'm taking hold of that thing, and I'm going to live in it, and I'm going to stand on it. Whatever the devil wants to come and try me in it, just bring it on, big boy, because all you're going to do is establish it in me. Are you following what I'm saying? Yes. So then it said this. He said one time, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, that's the smallest seed there is, and you plant that thing and it grows up into a tree. And the neighbor's birds come and rest in that thing. I'm saying it started out little bitty. And the tree grew, that's like over time. If you just stared at it, you couldn't see it moving. But if you came back in a year, it's bigger than it was. And then for long, it's a tree, and the neighbors are taking part in it. And so what started out as a little bitty because you decided to stay. I'm not bowing. I'm not quitting. I'm not giving up on this thing. I'm not a one-hit wonder. I'm staying for the long haul. And because I stayed, now the neighbors are coming along and getting shade because of this. Now I'm no longer just talking about a little bitty cough. I'm talking about being healed of so much stuff and saw victory in so many areas. Now then, we've grown in this thing. I'm talking about been 10 years or so now. Don't compare to me. You should have seen them. Some of you were here. It's probably been 8 years ago. I stood right here in this spot and said, I done found this out. I'll never be sick again. You ought to have seen them. I mean, almost looked at me the same way they looked at Abraham at the coffee shop. Talking about it uptown and everything. How many times y'all showed up here and then somebody else was standing here with the mic because Jason was homesick? Never. Thank you. I'm just saying, how long does it have to go before they think maybe he's on to something? So now we've grown in this thing. Now we see people's shoulders healed immediately. Now we see people's backs healed immediately. Now we see depression lifted off of people. You know why? Because now we got a tree. And now those that are around that are tired can come and sit underneath and get shade and rest. Because he said, with endurance becomes strong faith, and in that you will be made perfect and complete. Now we've always pushed that off to over yonder. Can't wait till I die and we'll go to heaven. We've pushed all the good things of God off over into heaven. Let me tell you something. You ain't got to have faith in heaven. Faith ends at heaven. You're no longer living by faith when you get there. You don't need faith. Because you have evidence now, right? I'm saying this life of faith is for here only. I'm just rooting you on tonight. Is that all right? Because we've said, we've believed, because this group right here, now we've started believing. We believe in more than normal. We make most people uncomfortable, we believe so much. But we've also seen where, okay, I'm going to believe God for this. I'm believing God. I know it's His will. I'm believing God. And then when you go out and it's not happening, we're like frustrated. Or a few weeks go by, frustrated. A few years go by, frustrated. He must have forgotten me. It ain't working. I'm giving up on this. We slip back and we get off of it. We quit focusing on it. We just kind of let it go, right? I mean, we still go to church. We still say the right things, but we've let it go. Is this too tough?
No.
I'm saying we're going to take this thing and we're going to work on endurance, and we're going to not just do one rep. We're going to go for years. Years. If it takes years, fine. The destination is complete and perfect. The destination is healed and whole. The destination is blessed. The destination is He's going to show off in my life so much that my life is an advertisement for His goodness. That's the destination. People will say, well, you got all filled this faith. Now you believe all this healing. Do you think it's wrong to go to the doctor? I'm not saying it's wrong to go to the doctor. I'm saying go however you want to go. The destination is healed. Use whatever you want to use. I don't care. Stand on your head, spin 3 circles, spit in the dirt. Healed. I don't care. You know, you pick. All right, I better qualify this. Here comes Jairus. Jairus is a synagogue leader. And Jairus, he comes, hunts Jesus down, his daughter. He said, my daughter is at home sick. If you'll come and lay your hands on my daughter, she'll be made well. Right? Everybody remember that story? If you come, here's what he says. If you come to my house, you lay hands on my daughter, she'll be made well. Jesus says, I'm paraphrasing the story. Okay, let's go. Away they go. And so while they're going, here comes a woman with the issue of blood. She's had the issue of blood now. She's been bleeding for 12 years. No doctors can help her. She's broke. She's separated. She's in a bad way. And said, after hearing about Jesus, she got up from where she was and went down there and touched the hem of His garment and was made. She said to herself, if I just touch the hem of His garment, I'll be made well. Immediately after that, here comes a Roman centurion. The Roman centurion said, I got a boy's at home and he's in a bad way. And Jesus said, all right, I'll come and heal him. He said, no. You don't even have to come to the house. Just say the word and my servant will be healed, right? I'm saying, if you come to the house and lay hands on my daughter, she'll be made well. If I just touch the hem of His garment, I'll be made well. You don't have to come to the house, just say the word. Are you seeing a pattern? He's saying, I don't care how.
That's right.
Just believe me for it.
Amen.
If you want to go to the doctor and spend thousands of dollars and millions now and pop pills and all that stuff, fine. I'm saying there's a better way than that, but even if you're taking that stuff, take it for healing. I'm on my way. My destination is total victory. I'm using whatever I got, wherever my faith's at the time, I'm using that. If it's have surgery, fine, have surgery. If it's eat herbal something, whatever, essential oils. My goodness. I'll make some of you mad now, but if you believe in essential oils, my goodness, you can believe it. Just kidding, my goodness, lighten up. I'm making sure you're still here. I got my house full of essential oils. So I walk in every day, see what oil we got going today. Oh boy, I'm in trouble now.
You gotta go home now.
Yeah. Oh, faith. Is everybody good?
Yes.
Come on, can we just ask God to do this in us and produce a little endurance, and we can get over ourselves and say, you know what, just because I don't see the evidence of it right away, I'm still hooked.
Yes.
Because like I said last week, the enemy's job now that we understand the grace and the gift of righteousness in, he's not really spending a lot of time and effort to try to get you to commit some evil act, because he knows that you know that doesn't affect your position. What he's trying to do now is, you think you've got some kind of faith, I'm going to put pressure on you and get you to back off that thing and stay out, because I don't want you to grow up in faith. Oh, if your faith gets strong, I'm in trouble. Because all I have access to is circumstances and situations and things in the natural. If you ever get to the place where the things in the natural don't move you, you know I'm telling it right.
Mm-hmm.
He loses all control when we get to the place where the things in the natural no longer move us. I'm just saying, it'd be a cool place to grow to, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Let's just ask God to grow us to that place. You want to?
Yes.
You can't work it up or perform it or get religious about it and somehow figure out how to make all that happen. No, I'm just hungry for it, and I said, you're going to have to do it in me. I want some of it. Here's what I found out. He wants me there worse than I want there. You want to sing something? I don't, you do what? Oh, he give me his time. Did y'all hear that? Oh my gosh. What are y'all doing?
It's okay.
It's okay.
What was I saying? Can you imagine what a group of people this size right here could accomplish if we were not moved by what we see in the natural? The enemy has access to the natural. He has his hand in the facts. That's where he operates. I'm not denying that there's facts. What I'm saying is truth trumps facts. And when we decide that we're going to go with truth, regardless of what we see in the facts, that releases the power of God. It's inside you to build endurance, long-lasting faith, to where Jesus ain't rolling his eyes and saying, look at that bunch down there. They've got such short time framed faith. We're going to be like Abraham. I don't care if it takes me 30 years to get there. He said it, and I'm going.
Amen.
I mean, you feel that? I mean, you kind of clench your jaw a little when you say that, don't you? Are you with me?
Yes.
Does anybody want God to do this in us?
Yes.
Is anybody willing to say, I want Him to take me there, regardless of what it takes or how long, or I'm just going with God?
Yes.
Man, because it's fun. It's fun to grow in this thing and watch it work for other people and to live life full of health and vigor and strong and ain't bound down to nothing of the enemy. I'm telling you, it's fun. It's fun. You grow up in this stuff and you watch people like last week. Remember that old boy over there, y'all? He ain't here. I can talk about him, I guess. He ain't here, is he? Okay, I don't think he's here. Oh, if he's here, you'd know it because he wound up. He come in here, stood up right there, had depression all over him, all kinds of pain in his back and shoulders and everything else, you know. And here, I even said while we were going, this is Jeff's time right here, okay? I'm done. I'm quitting. And I even mentioned, I said, we're going to the place where you ain't even got to have somebody pray for you. You just come in the door and you cannot leave, right? So Jeff gets up there and sings that song in the end. And now this little boy ain't churchy. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
He ain't trained. He don't know how he's supposed to be acting. Jeff singing that song, he's standing up over there, got both arms up in the air, tears running down his face. I looked over at Jacob, didn't I? Jacob, I said, hey, Jacob's sitting behind him, you know. I said, you make sure he gets healed before he gets out of here. Look at Jacob. And that guy said, y'all are too late. And the guy that was sitting there, you could see depression on him. You could. You could see depression on him. I just come in here and taught this same thing, and Jeff gets up there and sings them powerful songs, and the power of God takes over. The Spirit of God moves in, claims one of his boys back. And nobody touched him, nobody did nothing, but just a revelation of truth. Depression left, pain left, stand there healed. He said, y'all too late, you don't even need to pray for me. Smile, lips touching both ears, told him that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Huh? Everybody ready? It's fun to see that happen to people. Everybody want to go?
Yes.
I'm just saying, to get us to, you imagine if this many people in the same room had trees on the inside of them, what could happen in this place? Not just in this place, but everywhere we go. You know what I mean? It's even more powerful when we're all in here together. But that tree can touch people whether you're in Walmart or at work or wherever, school, whatever. I say let's go. You want to?
Yeah.
All right. All right. If you need help with some of it tonight, you can get it. Everybody good?
Yeah.
Love y'all.
Love you too.
Go home.